In a small fishing village in Sierra Leone, a match strikes in the darkness, bringing light to a humble home. Solomon Vandy, a local fisherman, wakes his son, Dia, for school. He wants a better life for his boy, a life beyond mending nets, perhaps as a doctor. As dawn breaks, Solomon and Dia walk along the serene beach, the boy full of questions about utopias and paradise. Their peaceful morning is shattered by the roar of engines. A pickup truck full of armed men, the Revolutionary United Front, tears through the village. Gunfire erupts, and chaos descends. Innocent people are gunned down as they flee in terror. Solomon scrambles to save his family, breaking them out of their home as the village burns. He tells his wife to run with the children while he tries to find a path to safety. But the rebels are everywhere. A chilling choice is offered by a rebel commander, long sleeve or short sleeve. He explains that with no hands, they cannot vote for the government. A young man's hand is brutally severed with a machete. Just as they are about to do the same to Solomon, the commander notices his strong build. He is spared the blade, but his fate is sealed. He is forced onto a truck and taken to the diamond mines. In a muddy river, scores of captured men toil, under the watchful eyes of rebel guards. They are searching for diamonds, the conflict stones that fund the brutal civil war. The guards warn them that anyone caught hiding a stone will be killed without hesitation. Their leader, Captain Poison, enforces this rule with a whip and a gun. As Solomon works, his foot uncovers something in the riverbed. He feigns a stomach ache to get away from the prying eyes of the guards. Once in the bushes, he is stopped by Captain Poison, but manages to get away. He digs frantically with his bare hands and unearths an enormous pink diamond. But Captain Poison has followed him. Before he can take the stone, the sound of gunfire fills the air. Government troops are attacking the camp. In the ensuing chaos, Solomon quickly buries the diamond before he is captured by the soldiers. Meanwhile, in another part of the conflict, a white Rhodesian mercenary, Danny Archer, conducts a smuggling operation. He is trading weapons for diamonds with a rebel commander known as Commander Zero. The deal is tense. Archer threatens the commander's men to get to his meeting. He dismisses the low-quality diamonds offered, demanding better stones for his high-grade weapons. Archer bluffs, threatening to sell the weapons to the government instead. The bluff works, and he receives a pouch full of valuable diamonds. Later, Archer is caught smuggling the diamonds across the border into Liberia. He tries to bribe the officer, referencing his powerful connections with the Colonel Coetzee, but his efforts fail. He is arrested and thrown into a crowded Freetown prison. It is in this jail that he crosses paths with Solomon Vandy. Archer overhears the injured Captain Poison, also imprisoned, raving about a fisherman who found a massive pink diamond. Solomon vehemently denies the accusation, screaming that the rebels have taken everything from him. But Archer recognizes the truth in Captain Poison's desperation. He knows the stone is real, and Solomon is his key to finding it. He calls his contact, telling him to get Solomon Vandy out of jail. This diamond, he believes, is his ticket off the continent, away from the life he leads. Archer is released, and waits for Solomon outside the prison. He finds him and follows him onto a bus, ready to make his proposition. In a bar by the ocean, Archer meets Maddie Bowen, a sharp American journalist. He is cynical about her intentions, dismissing her as another naive do-gooder. He explains his philosophy. Tia, this is Africa. Maddie is unfazed, immediately pegging him as a smuggler involved in blood diamonds. She wants his help exposing the diamond cartel, Vande Cup. Archer crudely dismisses her request. Meanwhile, the rough is brainwashing child soldiers, turning boys like Dia into killers. They are taught to shed blood, their innocence stolen and replaced with a rifle. Dia is given a new name and promoted to captain, a boss man in this new, brutal family. Back in Freetown, the situation is deteriorating rapidly. The rebels are closing in. Archer confronts Solomon as explosions rock the city. He tells Solomon that without his help, he is just another black man in Africa, unable to navigate the chaos. He offers a deal. Solomon leads him to the diamond, and Archer will help find his family. With the city erupting into a war zone, Solomon has no choice but to agree. They make a desperate run through the streets, dodging gunfire and explosions. The city is a vision of hell, with bodies and burning cars littering the roads. They navigate the battlefield, Archer leading the way, until they reach a bridge held by rough soldiers. Archer forces Solomon to play the part of a rebel, with Archer as his white prisoner, to bluff their way across. They make it to a uncontrolled area, where Archer seeks out Maddie Bowen. He knows he needs her connections. He finds her and proposes a new deal. He will give her proof of Vendicap's involvement in the blood diamond trade, a story that could expose the entire industry. In return, she must use her own access to find Solomon's family. Maddie, despite her distrust of Archer, sees the value in the deal and agrees. She discovers that Solomon's wife and daughters are in a massive refugee camp in Guinea. They fly to the camp, a sprawling city of tents and despair. Solomon has a tearful reunion with his wife and 2 daughters through a chain-link fence, but his joy turns to anguish when he learns his son, Dia, was taken by the rebels. The authorities won't release his family, fearing rebels are mixed among the refugees. Now, the diamond is Solomon's only hope. He points to a map, showing Archer the location of the mine. He tells Archer about his son's dream of becoming a doctor, the dream that now hangs by a thread. Archer, cornered, goes back to Maddie. He argues that the diamond is Solomon's only chance to save his family. He needs to get to Connell, and the only way is with the press convoy. He presents a new deal. He will be her journalist, and Solomon, his cameraman. He gives her the full story, names, dates, and account numbers that prove Vendicap's illegal operations. He makes her promise not to publish a word until he is off the continent with the diamond. With the deal struck, Archer forces a reluctant Solomon onto the bus, telling him this is the only way to get his son back. The convoy's journey is interrupted by an ambush. The journalists scramble for safety, amidst the gunfire. They escape the initial attack, but their troubles are far from over. Another rebel attack sends their vehicle tumbling off the road. Archer, Maddie, and Solomon flee into the jungle. They are soon confronted by a local militia protecting their village. Maddie, thinking quickly, uses her camera and journalist persona to de-escalate the situation, charming the militiamen into posing for a photo. Her bluff works, and they are granted safe passage. They find refuge at a makeshift school and clinic run by a man named Benjamin. He cares for children affected by the war, including those who were once rough soldiers. That night, Archer and Maddie share a drink in a moment of vulnerability. Archer reveals his traumatic past. His parents were murdered during the Rhodesian Bush War when he was 9. He concludes that God left this place a long time ago. Their journey continues, but they are ambushed again, this time by child soldiers. Benjamin is killed trying to reason with them. Archer is shot in the chaos. Maddie tends to his wound as they make their way to a mercenary airstrip. At the airstrip, they find Archer's old commander, Colonel Coetzee, preparing for an assault on the diamond fields. Coetzee now knows about the pink diamond, and declares that Archer is part of his operation. Archer sends Maddie away on an evacuation plane, promising to call. He gives her his contact's numbers, a final, hopeful gesture. As Maddie's plane takes off, Archer and Solomon head into the bush, now fugitives from Coetzee's men. While tracking, Coetzee reveals his brutal nature, talking about hunting baboons and how their flesh is not so different from a man's. Solomon nearly abandons the quest to search for Dia, believing he is dead already. Archer, surprisingly, convinces him to wait until dark, showing a flicker of empathy. They reach a vantage point overlooking the rough mining camp. Archer calls in the coordinates for an airstrike, planning to use the attack as a diversion. But Solomon sneaks into the camp alone, desperate to find his son. He finds Dia, who, completely brainwashed, denounces him as a traitor. Solomon is captured by Captain Poison, who forces him to dig for the diamond he came back for. Just as he is about to be killed, the mercenary airstrike begins. The camp is thrown into fiery chaos. Archer joins the fray, fighting his way towards Solomon. In the midst of the battle, Solomon kills Captain Poison with a shovel. Coetzee and his men land, and the colonel immediately confronts Archer, demanding the stone. Archer tries to bluff, but Coetzee brings out his leverage. Dia, forced to comply. They are all led to the burial spot. Solomon digs, but the first hole is empty. He claims someone must have taken it. As Coetzee is about to execute them, Archer spots the true location nearby. While Solomon digs, Archer swiftly takes out Coetzee's men. But in the exchange, Coetzee shoots Archer. Archer, though wounded, manages to kill the colonel. Solomon finally retrieves the diamond, just as Dia points a gun at his father. Solomon refuses to give up, speaking to the son he remembers, the good boy who loves soccer and his family. His words break through the brainwashing, and a tearful Dia lowers the gun, returning to his father. Archer's wound is fatal. He can't go on. Knowing his time is short, he gives the diamond to Solomon. He hands him Maddie's card and his gun, telling him to take his boy home. As Solomon and Dia run for the airplane, Archer makes a final stand, holding off the pursuing mercenaries. Alone on the hillside, he makes one last call to Maddie. He tells her to meet Solomon, and that he is giving her the story of a lifetime. With the red earth of Africa beneath him, he tells her he is exactly where he is supposed to be, and dies. In London, Solomon meets with a representative from Van de Kopp, Maddie documenting the exchange. He demands not just the money but the safe return of his family. His terms are met, the diamond is exchanged for £2 million, and more importantly, his family. Maddie publishes her explosive article, exposing the blood diamond trade to the world. The film concludes with Solomon Vandy, now a respected speaker, addressing a conference on conflict diamonds in Kimberley, South Africa. He is living proof of the human cost of the gems, and a voice for those who can no longer speak.